Hello everyone, I thought I would do another video for you today. So this video is going to show you how to find the x and y intercepts of an equation. And so if I have, I'm going to write it again since it kind of went on two lines. So I have 2x minus 8y equals 10. Okay, so when you are finding x and y intercepts, so my x-intercept, I'm really bad at writing. X-intercept, that means you're going to have some number for x, and then your y will be 0. Okay, so then your y-intercept means that your x will be 0, and you'll have some number there for y. So we'll find the x-intercept first. That means I have to put a 0 in place of my y. Okay, so that's going to be 8 times 0. So I'm going to have 2x and then minus 8 times 0 equals 10. Okay, 8 times 0 obviously is 0, so then I just have 2x equals 10, and I have to solve that, so I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So that means x equals 5. So my x-intercept here is 5. Okay, so then, whoops, I guess I'll erase the whole thing. Then, get my equation back on there. If I have, for my y-intercept, I have to find where x equals 0. So I'm going to put a 0 in place of x, right there, and then minus 8y equals 10. So 2 times 0 is 0. So then I just have my negative 8y equals 10. So I'm going to divide by negative 8. Remember, because we're multiplying, so we just have to do the opposite when you're solving an equation. So I'm going to divide by negative 8. So that's going to be y equals, and it's going to be a negative, and then you just are going to simplify this fraction basically. So if I take a divide by 2 for both of them, that's going to be 5 over 4. So negative 5/4 is going to be my y-intercept. Okay, now if they had you graph this, you could graph it just with these two intercepts. Okay, so if I had my graph here on my x-axis, and then I have my y-axis. So my x-intercept is 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my x-intercept. My y-intercept is negative 5/4, so that's just past negative 1. Okay, so it's negative 1 and 1/4. So I'm going to go just past negative 1. And then I'm going to draw a really bad line here, so prepare yourselves. So then, oh, actually that was pretty good. Okay, so then that would be my line. Pretty slick. Now the other thing that they have you do on this quiz is you have to find the slope sometimes. Okay, now you could find the slope with these 2 points. And so if you were going to find the slope, we would go 1, so we'd have y2 minus y1, which just means your second y minus your first y, over x2 minus x1. Okay, so you could do that, and for this problem, that means you would take your second y, which is negative 5/4, minus your first y, which is 0. And then you would take your second x, which is 0, and subtract your first x, which is 5. Okay, now this one's going to be a little trickier just because you have a fraction over inside a fraction, but so you'd have negative 5/4 over negative 5. Okay, two negatives make a positive, so I'm going to drop those negatives off. And then negative 5/4 divided by 5 means I would flip and multiply that. Whoops, I didn't drop my negatives. Erase that little negative there. A little smaller. Okay. So then I would have, this would be 1, that would be 1, and you multiply and you have 1/4. That would be my slope. Okay, the other way you can find slope, well, there's a few different ways, but one other way is we can solve this equation for y. Okay, so I'm going to show you that one last thing here. So we have 2x minus 8y equals 10. So if we want to get this y by itself, first thing we're going to do is we're going to subtract 2x on both sides. Okay, so 2x minus 2x is 0. So then I'm going to have negative 8y equals, I'm going to leave this x in the front. So I'm going to have negative 2x, and it's a positive 10, so I say plus 10. Okay, and then I'm going to divide by negative 8, which means I have to divide all of this by negative 8. Okay, negative 8 over negative 8 is 1, so that's going to be y. Negative 2 over negative 8, that's a fraction that would simplify to, and there's two negatives, so make it positive. 2 over 8 simplifies to 1/4, and then I'd have my x. And then a positive over a negative makes a negative, and I simplify that to 5/4. Okay, and then you can see right here, here's your y-intercept, okay, negative 5/4. And then this would be your slope, okay, which they usually call m. So your slope would be 1/4. So then to graph with that information, so if I have my great graph here, so I'd start at my y-intercept of negative 5/4. So that's about right there. And then my slope, the top number tells me how far I go up or down. So it's positive, so I go up 1. Bottom number tells me how far I go left or right. It's positive, so I go to the right 4. So that means I would go up 1 and to the right 4. And then I'd go up 1. It's hard when it's fractions, you just have to kind of estimate. And to, whoops. And to the right 4. Whoa, that was not good. Probably need to be about right there. I got off my line. Okay, and then you would draw your line through that. All right, that's all there is to it. There's all your intercepts and slopes that you could ever need. As always, if you send me an email or post a comment in the updates below this video saying what you learned, just one sentence is all you need to get extra credit, and hope this helps you on your quiz.